Yo, this is your boy Trent coming at you live right here on Talk to Me podcast. And today, man, we are blessed with the presence of Mac DZ, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Hey, what's going on with you, bro? Hey. How's everything going?
Man, everything going good, man. You know, we're glad to have you on the show. For all those who don't know, man, he's going to be joining the squad, man, as a co-host, man. And we are just blessed that he's even, going to be part of the team, man. And we're excited that, we're going places, man. We're going places as a unit. So, Talk to Me, fam, man. That's who's with us. But what we're going to start today is a brand new segment called Man Up Hour. We're going to do it every Friday. We're going to release the video at 12 noon every Friday, man. So guess what? The whole purpose of this segment is to do three things. And that is to educate, to provide a place for men to be men, and to expose, man. And really, it is what it is, to expose, educate, and provide a place for us men to be men. That means we're going to talk about some uncomfortable things, but what all of that is in the perspective of to help us grow and to be better men. We're going to have different people to come on throughout the segment. We're going to have guest appearances, man. I've already been getting emails about people who just want to hop on and just join the panel from time to time. So I'm very excited about this. I think it's a good thing for us to do because growing up as a young man, I understand that some of us may not have that fatherly figure in the home. Some of us may not have someone we can look up to, and then we go out there and we do stupid things and make dumb decisions. But you know what? This is a segment where we can just come, be who we are, and learn to be better at better men. Just general better men. We can all be better fathers. We can all be better, better friends, anything. But we just want to just focus on us to just be better men. So that's what it's about, man. The Man Up Hour, man. So, but today, man, we really want to just hone in on a something that just happened recently. And so, actually, it happened down in Alabama, and a lot of people are talking about it. But I was looking into it. My boy Mac was looking into it, and we think that there's a lesson that can be taken from that incident. Ain't that right, Mac?
Hey, man. Man. That's correct. That is very correct, man. It is a lesson to be learned, a valuable lesson to be learned from that situation. On both sides of the table, on both, both sides.
And so, I noticed a lot of people that trying to make it a race thing and everything like that. And then, don't get me wrong, race is a part of the issue. But I do think there's more than just one issue at play in this event. But how about for those who don't know what happened, man? My boy Matt gonna explain and tell you a little bit more detail about what occurred down in Alabama.
Well, what happened in Alabama, Montgomery, Alabama, to be precise, it was a black co-captain of one of the ships down there, one of the ships that the tourists get on and they go sightseeing. So it was people that parked docked their boat right where the tourist ship was supposed to park to board on passengers or you let them off. And he was explaining to the Caucasians, because that's what he were. They were Caucasian people, and he was explaining to one, hey, you guys need to move your boat because you can't park here. You're not supposed to park here. This is only for the tourist ship. And eventually what it was is they was being nonchalant. They didn't want to listen to him. They didn't want to move their boat, and things started to escalate verbally first. There was a bunch of yelling going on, from the video, and then to make it a long story short, you can see where the co-captain, the brother, he undocked their ship, and that's when all hell broke loose. One guy came and jumped on him. But pretty much first they was face to face, and the Caucasian guy hit the brother. He threw his hat off, and and they got the tussling, with each other. And then for his Caucasian friends came and just jumped on him. For man, it was six on one. It was 5 males and one white lady.
Man, I'm gonna be real, man. It doesn't matter whether you white, black, Mexican, whatever, man. Hey, a 5-on-5-on-1 ain't no fair fight. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fair fight across the board, no matter how many ways you flip it. So,
I mean, to me, that's cowardly. Very cowardly, man. And I'm gonna say this: I don't respect cowards, not one bit. You know, the main thing is they know that they were wrong. Mm-hmm. You know, and from my perspective, I felt like they didn't have to listen to him because he was a black man. They just figured, hey, you know, we can do what we want to do. Definitely, we ain't got to listen to him because he's black. You know, and it's just the whole thing. It makes it kind of frustrating because, you know, we all kind of dealt with that before. I know I've had personally, you know, being a black man in America, I've dealt with that before when I've, you know, had to tell someone what to do of another race, and they felt like they didn't have to listen to me because of my skin color, which is kind of foolish because rules apply to everybody.
That's right.
No matter what race, color, creed you are, rules apply to everybody. You know, and like I said, you know, it just came to the point where that's what they felt, and they felt like they didn't have to listen to him because he was black, and you know, and that's the very disrespectful part of it. Very disrespectful part of it. You know, I mean, watching it kind of made me, you know, made my feathers kind of ruffle a little bit, you know, but I mean, what happens.
Like a lot of people, like when I talk to folks about what respect is to them, I tend to see the line be shifted a little bit depending on the person that I'm talking to. So what I'm saying is that what you deem as disrespect may not be deemed as what I view as disrespect. So in this situation, when pertain to us as men, I talk to a bunch of men. I see the common line that is drawn. They, you know, most men, hey, don't talk to me crazy. You know what I'm saying? You respect me, I respect you. You know what I'm saying? You may not like what I do, but hey, you know, at least respect me as a person that I'm here putting in the effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, hey, I could have came and cussed you out. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. You know, so respect me. So it's like, you know, the phrase that goes around is that I hear a lot is, you know, respect is given to a dog. With the term disrespect, someone told me recently, and this is what brought me to the point with you, is that someone told me that the level of respect they have to a person is dependent upon the level of loyalty that they receive from them. And I never heard that before. For that person, I was like, you know what, it may that view may work for them, but you know, for me, I never heard that from someone before. That the level of respect they have for a person is dependent upon the level of loyalty that they receive from a person. Do you see that being a factor here in this situation, or just in general in society with men? Like, you know, I'm be honest. I see a lot of dudes. They relate more with the person that they known the longest. So that person gets more from them, more respect from them than the person that they just met off the block because they don't know how to feel about them.
That's true. On that note, the loyalty part comes in, like you just said, how long you've known the person. But respect, to me, is based off of character, based off how you treat people. You know, how you talk to people. You know, the way that you go about doing things for people or to people. Take a bully, for instance. No one really respects a bully. They respect him out of fear, but they don't respect him as, you know, two strangers, you know, two gentlemen just speaking to each other. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm fine. How about you? Hey, I'm blessed. You know, something like that. But, you know, far as in respect is always given to me because of character. You know, because, you know, I know some guys that show me, you know, the wrong side, you know, and far as in being a man, I respect them, but far as the person they are, I don't, you know, and that's why, you know, I keep them, you know, at a distance because of their character, who they are. Respect is always given, you know, just as much as it is earned, but it's earned through character. Like I said before, it's just earned through character. You know, because if you snake in the grass or someone that's real conniving and backstabbing, how can someone respect you? Because they know who you are. Mm-hmm. Think about it. You know, whether it's on a job, whether your neighborhood, if you know a person is wicked, always causing chaos and confusion, you don't respect that person. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, if anything, you dislike that person. You know, for who they are, and that's why you keep them at a distance. But I've never really heard of respect. You know, it's given based on loyalty. I mean, that comes with knowing a person. You know, that comes with being around a person for a certain amount of time. You know, just off the blue, I can't just say, you know, if me and you just met today, I can't respect you off of loyalty because we don't know each other.
Exactly.
But if we just happen to be somewhere like a train station waiting on the same train, and we have a general conversation, and we, you know, just point out views and values of, you know, just being two men talking, you know, and just not talking to each other, we can kind of see, you know, our character. You know, I mean, even though we just met, but still, just out of respect of two men talking, I respect it. You know, you didn't come with a nasty attitude. I didn't come with a nasty attitude. I didn't say nothing, you know, out of the way, anything like that. But yeah, you know, respect is given off the character of the person, not so much of loyalty.
So, like with the situation that happened in Alabama, right? And so there's a lot of takes. There's a lot of hot takes from different angles on it, right? Some people are just focusing on the racial aspect. Some people are just focusing, you know, a lot of people are just focusing on the racial aspect, right? And we're going to acknowledge that because there is a level of racism at play in that happened here. You know what I'm saying? And we can't deny that, you know, and not just in Alabama, but in all over America. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I see the racism at play that happened here. You know what I'm saying? But what I want to hone in and what I want to talk about is the level of respect, right? That is to us because we are human beings, right? When I step outside the house, you know, there's a level of respect that I give to everybody that I come past and I talk to. Why? Because you are a person. Whether you are black, white, it doesn't matter. You get a level of respect from me because you are simply put a person. God put you here on this earth for a reason. So you're going to get a level of respect from me. Now, if you decide to take that respect for granted, right? And you begin to speak to me as if I'm not valued as a person. Now we got an issue.
Correct.
Now we got an issue. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I have a problem with people just make it a skin color. It's way deeper than just, okay, the skin. It's like you said, it's a character issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I can't go out here and expect people to operate and live their life like how I would. Because why? We dealing with different people. We dealing with different cultures. We dealing with different backgrounds. We don't know what mommy and daddy taught them. You know, we don't know how their upbringing may have been. We don't know what it's just simply put, we just don't know. So to walk out the door and expect someone, right, to just, you know, treat me how I would expect myself to be treated because I treat you the same way, that's kind of ridiculous because of the world that we live in.
That's true.
You know, and so what I'm hearing a lot from a lot of dudes that seen this happen is that they should have known better. And the problem with that phrase that I have, that they should have known better, there's a level of expectation like, okay, bro, you should have known we should have came at you like that because you came at us like that.
Right.
But it's like, okay, you can't hold them to that level of expectation because, again, you don't know how they've been brought up. You don't know what's been taught to them. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how they're viewing us. You know? Maybe they look at us as just some ignorant black folks. You know what I'm saying? But we wouldn't know. Because again, the only thing we can go off is the character of a person, which manifests itself through the actions of the person.
That's true. Yeah. Which the brothers that you talked to, they were right. They should have known better. You know, and I hate that they always sort of put us all in the same box when we're not, and it just come to the fact that I'm gonna say that this has to stop, man. I mean, it starts with us, but it's too many successful black people within this country alone to say that all black men or all black people are the same.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, man, we ourselves, black people, man, we don't go around bothering people, man. We don't. When we go looking for a good time, we go for a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that some of us like to go places to find trouble. I mean, like you said, that character, but everyone's not like that, and that bothers me because, when I go into a grocery store or I go into the movie theater and I have on, my style of clothes, they look at you funny, but then when you speak and the way you act and the way you carry yourself, when they see that, they look at you different. But it's like, why are you looking at me different now that you see the way that of my behavior? You should have thought about that. I mean, you should have just thought of, hey, he's just another guy. You know what I'm saying? You can't, like I said, you can't judge no one until they show you their character.
That's right.
But then when you just come and just think that we're all the same, that kind of gets me ticked off.
Yeah.
That gets me ticked off. My parents raised me with home training. When you go somewhere, act like you've been somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it is, man. Just
So what do you, man? So, not to cut you off, but what do you feel like? What do you feel like has to happen? Because what do you? How can I put it? What do you feel like has to happen? Or what level of line is drawn before our response is warranted? Because I'm being or justified. Because I feel like, because a lot of people feel like the way how we as I ain't even gonna say we because I wasn't there, but a lot of people feel like how they responded down there was not justified. They feel like they should have handled it in a different way. I felt like it was justified. I felt like it was coming. I saw the video. A lot, and a lot of it is because, look, you're not about to sit here, and we're not about to watch you beat up on one, and just sit here and you just think that we're not gonna do anything. No. Like I remember growing up, man. Like a one-on-one was a one-on-one.
Right.
Ain't nobody was getting involved. Now they may laugh and scout and do whatever you want, man. Like that's your fight to fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, if someone gets involved, and now that one-on-one becomes a 2-on-1, a 3-on-1, now best believe we coming in guns a-blazing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
yep.
That's how it was. That's how it was growing up, man. So, but again, how we grew up and how they grew up were different. And like you say, there's a level of there was some cowardly men out there, bro. I ain't gonna say cowardly men, but there was some cowardly dudes out there, bro. To where I don't know what clicked in their mind to think that it was justified for, hey, let me go get 3 more people, 4 more people, and let's go jump this dude. Why? Because your one guy couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I mean, and to answer your question, like what has to happen, far as in what has to change, far as us to show them that we are not the same. They know that already. They know that all of us are not the same, but the fact is they don't want to change their mindset. That's the problem. They don't want to change their mindset. They don't. Like we as black people have to do nothing, because in every way you're gonna have good, bad, you're gonna have, rich, poor, the total opposite. So like I said, for me to say, like for prime example, for me to say that all white people are racist, that's a false statement. you know, it's nothing that we have to do to show them. I mean, white and black has been living on this earth way before me and you was born. You know, so what more do we have to do to show them that we're all not the same? There's nothing that we can do. They have to change their mindset.
Because there's so much that goes into how the mind works, bro. You know?
Right.
I mean, a lot of times before things even manifest through our words or through our actions, it's already been felt in our hearts, processed in our minds, and we done made a conscious decision to say, you know what, I'm still going to follow through with this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I made the statement to a friend of mine. I said, you know, no one woke up being racist.
True.
No one came in this world being racist. My daughter didn't come into this world saying, hey, I don't like white folks. That stuff is indoctrinated. That stuff is taught. It's a conscious decision to say, you know what? I choose to look at that person and view them for what A, B, C, and D is. That's a conscious decision. And with that conscious decision, you have two choices, whether to believe it or to not believe it. And you made the choice to believe it, and so now you get mad at the response that you received because you made the conscious decision to believe what A, B, C, and D is to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem that I have, because the mind is powerful. That's why you gotta watch what you see, watch the things that you hear, you're listening to, the people who you listening to, the circle that you keep. Because why? It all affects how you think. It all affects how you feel towards people. You know what I'm saying? And so with us as men, two things that I loved when I saw the video. One, I love the unity. I love how we came together with the quickness, okay? Look, bro, we were on point, okay? Like, that's how we respond. But it's just, I like how we came together. And I do think, like, we as men, we need to come together more. Because even in the music industry, I made the statement on an interview with, if y'all haven't checked it out, it's on YouTube with Breezy from Savannah, man. Y'all go check it out, man. And Top Breezy from Savannah, man. I made the statement to him. I said, man, you know, a lot of time in the music industry, you see a lot of people that came up on the same street as you, grew up with you, man, and they make it, and then they look back like they don't want to educate. Hey, this is how I did it. You know, hey, they're like, hey, I told them, I said, what's wrong with everybody eating? I said, you know, just like with this podcast, I gotten people that, that have emailed me and just asked, hey, what are you doing? You know, is there some tips? Is there something that, because they want to know, what are you doing that I'm not doing? I'm the same way. I've emailed and reached out to people, even as I'm walking in the grocery store. You know, some of my clients, they got different streaming platforms, and I'm asking them, hey, how are you doing it? How are you? Because why, man? There's something that we all have that can be passed on to someone else. You know what I'm saying? And that can help them. Like, I just shared about 2 weeks ago on the Spotify channel that our story can save someone's life. You don't know what someone is going through. You don't know what your neighbor is going through. And if we get to a point in our life where we just like, we don't want to say nothing, we just want to shut up. Hey, I made it. So, oh man, how did you do it? Hey, you got to figure it out just like how I figured it out. Why not educate? Why not pass down that knowledge? You know what I'm saying? Why not show and share to the next person, hey bro, this is the avenue that I took. This is the path that success shouldn't be a competition of who can be better at it, bro. It should be a community, a village, bro. Sometimes it takes a village to raise a person. You know what I'm saying? It takes multiple people to help you to realize your purpose and your vision. I'm not self-made, bro. There are many people that I can give credit to right now that say, hey, they helped me to get to where I am today. You know what I'm saying? And so I love unity. When I see it, I love it. I was behind how we stood up and how we came together. You know, now you know some things is debatable. Like, you know, my guy grabbed the chair and started WWEing everybody he saw. You know what I'm saying? You know, I say, bro, you know, we can debate, you know, that, but we knew behind it what the intention was, man. Like, and people out there is fed up, bro. People up there is just fed up. Men out there is just fed up.
Well, to piggyback off what you were saying about unity, I think they made the move on that brother only because they didn't think that, you know, the other brothers and sisters would have got involved, because, you know, on a day-to-day basis we don't show enough unity and enough love to each other. So they only react off how we live. And you know, to them, I say they maybe thought that, hey, you know what, we can take this one guy, you know, and the rest of them, they ain't gonna do anything, you know, because they always say, you know, we kill each other every day, we rob each other, we do this to each other, which we do in our communities, we do. But to me, that's the reason why they made that attempt they did on that brother, because they didn't think that the other black people would come to him.
Not knowing that he had co-workers around him, bro. It wasn't just random people. He had dudes that he worked with that came and be like, yo, man, I'm about to let you do that to my boy like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, I'm with that. I'm with that. So, unity, we need to show more unity at the end of the day towards each other.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
one, man. Like you said, you know, my father always taught me the only time you should look down on another man is when you're pulling him up.
Yes.
Today, you on top of the mountain. Tomorrow, you can fall and hit rock bottom. Just in an instant. Everything we have in this life of ours is not going to come with us when we pass on. And we need more unity in our community. That's number one. But
in conclusion, I think we both can agree that the lesson we can pull from what happened is, man, we need to show more love towards each other. We need to show more unity. We need to show that, look, not only are we going to come together, but we're going to be there for each other. And you're not just going to attack one and don't think, hey, the rest ain't going to come. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we in it together. But I will add this to that as well, is that in our response to show that we are unified, let's make sure that we're responding out of a righteous heart. You know what I'm saying? Let's not respond out of anger. Let's not respond out of hatred. Let's not respond because of, 400 years of built up pressure. Let's respond because we thought about it, we processed it, and you know what? I'm going to make a conscious decision that in my response, I'm going to do what's right.
Right.
I'm going to do what's right. And in that, I believe when we get people to do that, man, it'll show that unified front will be more of a, not just a front, but it'll be a force that'll be reckoned with.
You know, once we unify and we come together even more, the bigger picture is we'll be stronger, and not just strong, but we'll be stronger. But and when I say stronger, I mean stronger mentally. You know, teach one, reach one. That's the main thing, man. Because if you look at other nationalities, my brother, all of them stick together, man. If you can name them, from the Asians to the Mexicans to Caucasians, everyone stick together. But sometimes, man, we don't have that, man, and that's our main weakness, man. We have to stick together. We have to unify, man, because together we stand, divided we fall. I mean, just plain and simple.
I really do think that's a big issue, especially in the in Black America, man. Is unity, man. Being able to come together, work together, and be there for one another. We definitely need to see more of that, for sure. I definitely would love to see more of that, especially in our community, man. Because when we're divided, man, there's a level of absence that presents itself in the homes, in the lives of the youth. And where do they go to? Where do we go to? Who do we run to when the absence of strong figures that we can look up to is no longer present? Like, who do we run to? And that's really is the root, the core of this show. This why we doing what we doing, because we notice that there is a lack. in some homes. We know that there is a void in the connection with the youth today, from one generation to the next. And we can't afford to lose nobody to the wrong battle, And so if it's a matter of just having a simple conversation, that's what we're going to do. If it's just a matter of providing a time and a place for words to be spoken that normally wouldn't be spoken in a certain setting, that's what we're going to do. Because we can't afford to lose unnecessary lives to ignorance anymore, man. And the lack of knowledge, man, is crazy. I studied out the Dark Ages. And, the reason why they called it, one of the reasons why they call it the Dark Ages is because of the lack of progression of knowledge. Technology wasn't advancing. There wasn't really too much of newfound growth in knowledge to help out society. So one of the reasons why they call it Dark Ages was simply because of that. There was no newfound knowledge, and I feel like every day in our lives we can learn something new. There's always a lesson in everything and that we go through in life. It's just a matter of if we're looking for it or not. And so everything that we go through, not just as men but just as people, there's a lesson in everything. We just gotta be willing to look for it and learn from it. And that leads us to before we leave out of here, man, and close it out for this segment, for this show, is this: we got a topic corner, and it's not just for the ladies, but it's for just people in general. But ladies, it'll be beneficial for you guys to tune in and pay attention, okay? But this part of the show, we're going to title "Advice from a Man," and it can be it's pretty random as to what you might hear. But this week, man, I think this advice from a man can benefit not just ladies, but just all of us, man. And so my boy Mac, man, what's the advice today, man? What's the advice that you have from a man?
Well, this segment, I'm gonna call it you might not like it, but you need it. And I'm speaking to all of my beautiful women out there, strong, independent women. I've been noticing for a long time, you got women, say, I don't need no man, I can buy my own things, this and that, blase, going on. But I do want to say, from a man's perspective, God made man for woman and woman for man. Now, I understand there are some women that's probably heartbroken, and they have their heart broken, a few times. But the thing is, I believe that every woman deserves a good man, and it's not all about financial status. It's not all about cars and the big house. It's about having someone there to support you, and not always someone who's there to get in your pants and to rush and lay down with you. Sometimes both, even men, need that moral support from the opposite sex, because a man can make a woman see things from his perspective, and vice versa, and that changes up the way we think, and excuse me, to my ladies, you all need someone to support you, even if he's not your boyfriend, not your husband, fiance. If there's a good friend in your life, a good male friend in your life, someone who who's genuine, who's gonna be there for you, stick by that man, stick by him, because I guarantee you, in the long haul, you're gonna need someone to talk to. And sometimes getting advice from women all the time, it's not a good thing. Like fellas getting advice from their boys. Hey man, you don't need her. Hey man, she ain't up with this, she ain't up with that. Sometimes your boys can be wrong too. That's why sometimes it's good to have your own intuition. And to my ladies who've had their heart broken, multiple times, change up the type of men that you're looking for. Because if you keep running to the same men, and you keep getting the same outcome, eventually it's your fault. The first time, shame on them. Second time, shame on you. Third time,
shame on both of y'all. Shame on you guys, man.
Right.
Hey.
So, and when I say this, it's nothing wrong with being independent, as a woman. It's nothing wrong with paying your own bills. There's nothing wrong with, taking care of your kids. Definitely, if you're going to school and you hold down a job and taking care of your kids, look here, hey, I support that. I take my hat up to you. But that good job you got can't keep you warm at night. That money you making can't keep you warm at night. Sometimes you need someone there in your corner. And not always, like I said, sometimes you need someone to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Kind of to help your mental, to take the stress off you. Because women love to talk. And women want to talk to someone and vent to people. And it's not always healthy to vent to the same sex. It's not. You need to vent to the opposite sex. Like I said, he doesn't have to be your boyfriend. But as long as he's there as a friend and be there for that moral support, by all means, stick by that brother. Because you never know what it may turn into. He can elevate you just like you can elevate him. It goes on both sides of the court. Or, like I say, life is a two-way street. So,
and I'll even add this to that, and that was a good take, man, and good advice. And I'll add this to this, and then we'll get on up out of here. That you may not want it, but you need it. Is good advice across the board, because a lot of times we live our lives chasing after what we want, because we've been conditioned that what we want is true happiness, right? Or what we want will lead us to true happiness. When in reality, what we want sometimes may just be a result of a event that we're going through in our life. So it's not necessarily that is going to lead to what we truly need. It's just going to lead to what we want at that time. And so when it's time to confront and what we need shows up in our life, what I notice a lot of times is that we reject it, because what we need may not reflect what we want at that time, or our thought of what we think is happiness. Because I'm gonna be honest, sometimes we go through things in life and what we need is somebody to cuss us out and tell us we stupid.
Right.
It may not be something that we want to hear and want to be need to accept, but it may be something that we need to hear at that time to realize, like, look, man, what you did wasn't cool.
Right.
But what we chase after and what we want is someone to sign off on our stupidity at the moment, or sign off on our emotional roller coaster, or sign off on whatever that we want them to agree with us. In other words, we call that the amen corner. You go to the people who will tell you right all the time, 100% of the time, instead of going and listening to the ones who know you and that can tell you, hey, like, nah, you dead wrong. And so you may not need it. You may want it. Everything you want, you don't need, is what I'm saying. And in relationships, that's very important. Ladies, you may not want a man to tell you certain things, but that's sometimes what you need to hear. Men, it goes the same way for men. We may not want a woman to do certain things or to say certain things to us in certain ways, but sometimes that's what we need to hear. And so that's really a good piece of advice for ladies and men alike, because not everything we want in life we need.
True. And one more thing I want to say to the ladies. There's someone out there that truly does love you. Someone truly does love you. And if you take your time and you give it to the man upstairs, If you give it to God, I guarantee you, He will lead you in the right path.
That's 100%. It is what it is, man. And so, look, that's all that we have, man, for our first episode of the Man Up Hour. Look, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Next time we'll have the chat open so we can have some live reviews, live questions. We'll take it on air. And man, you never know, man. We might be in your city or something, shooting live, man. We got some things coming up, some locations being set in stone. We'll be able to do live episodes. And so, man, I'm so excited for what this segment is going, man. It's a pleasure to have Mac D on the show, man. And man, I tell you, it's a long time coming. I know this dude personally, man, and so he been with me through some tough times in my life, and I can vouch and say, man, when he speaks not out of ill intent, but out of love and compassion, man, and experience, man, because he's seen some things, went through some things in his own life, and maybe, man, we can have him on the show the way he can just personally just talk about his story, man, and be able to provide some more insight on that. But man, I'm so excited for where the show is going, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. And man, I love you guys. We love you guys, man. Stay tuned to the squad. Until next week, peace.
Flight and live my life.
Peace. Yes, sir.